I hate every ape I see, from chimpanzee to chimpanzee. You're right. Today we're talking about the original Planet of the Apes from 1968 here on Mallard Matinee. Yes, welcome back to Mallard Matinee. We are talking about the OG Planet of the Apes. It's a movie that, well, I guess we'll get into the story and everything, but it's a movie that I think everybody is aware of. I don't know if they've all seen the movie, but there's so many references out there, and that's definitely my first knowledge of this movie is references from other stuff. But before we get into all of that, let's introduce ourselves, starting with me right here. I am CountryBoy.
I am LewisLightning. Not really the biggest fan of the modern ape movies, but yeah, I gave this one a go and I was not disappointed, I'll say that. Interesting.
I was kind of curious how you'd be thinking, because I know you're not a fan of the new ones. But let's go right into kind of our first foray into the apes world. What introduced you into the apes, I guess?
Definitely, like, there's just been multiple references. I couldn't tell you which one was the first. Like, just in movies and TV shows, probably video games. I can't really think of any video games that stand out.
Keep your stinking paws off me.
You damn dirty human.
But yeah, there's just so many references in media throughout, throughout all the time I've been alive of Planet of the Apes. Yeah. Just like, there's so many quotable lines. Like Spaceballs has the ship, when it crashes, you see the Statue of Liberty-esque type head.
Yeah, like the vacuum and the lady, yeah.
And then Simpsons is the big one. Like, I've seen that episode so many times. Yeah. It's one of my favorites, and it's the standout for Phil Hartman's, Troy McClure character. Yeah. There's like a whole episode there based on him, which is a musical, which we're going to probably reference here.
Oh, yeah. I mean, even the one where Homer goes to space, he references it. He's like, wait a minute. That was our planet! You maniacs! You blew it up! He's so mad. Yeah. He just realizes that the Planet of the Apes is about Earth.
Like have you heard about Planet of the Apes? Are you talking about the movie or the actual planet?
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, so I heard all these references growing up. The movie itself, I probably became aware of it at some point, just as some kind of 60s or whatever schlock film from a bygone era that people were into, like some sci-fi stuff for, I don't know, for these niche crowd. Kind of like Godzilla in a way, and I'm a fan of Godzilla, so it's not a slight. I just always feel like that was a little bit off to the side, but it obviously became more of a thing. So I was aware of those, and I would say I gave it a shot back when they made the 2001?
Oh yeah, 2001, the Tim Burton one.
The Tim Burton one I went and saw, which, I don't know, a lot of people hated it. I wouldn't say I loved it, but I thought it was okay. I didn't mind it. And then they rebooted it again. But seeing this for the first time was just this week. I watched Planet of the Apes with Charlton Heston, the 1968 version, just now for the first time. But obviously, those references have always been there. I knew kind of what to expect going in.
Yeah, so I'm similar to you. I knew Spaceballs and I knew Simpsons, and that was kind of definitely my first knowledge of what Planet of the Apes kind of was, and definitely the spoilery stuff that they mentioned in those shows or movies. So you kind of knew what to expect going into this movie. But I also liked 2001 movie. I actually do enjoy that movie. More so for the effects, the practical effects, the makeup's really well done. Still probably my favorite movie for practical effects and makeup, really awesome. Story itself, it's kind of dumb, and Mark Wahlberg could act a little bit better. But still, I enjoyed that movie. I thought that was the first Planet of the Apes movie that I had seen, was that one. And so it got me interested in these movies. And so maybe a couple of years after seeing that, I saw the 68 movie. And that was maybe like 20 years ago, I'm going to say. I maybe saw this movie 20 years ago. Didn't remember a whole lot of it after rewatching it this time. But I wasn't even a fan of it, actually. I wasn't a huge fan of the 68 version the first time I watched it. And might surprise you that I'm a bit more of a fan now, especially since I really do like the modern Apes movies. If you ever watch our other channel, I talk about Planet of the Apes all the time, but it's all the modern stuff. I don't talk about the old school stuff. I watched this back then, and then I watched it the second time just this week sometime, and I like it more than I did the first time, I'll say that much.
Yeah.
So we can get into some of the cast, I guess. some of the actors that are in it. So Charlton Heston is obviously the main actor. He plays Taylor. He's an astronaut that crash lands on this planet. Him and a few other guys that are astronauts also land on this planet. And what do you think about Charlton Heston?
You know, so I know I've probably seen Charlton Heston in some cameo roles here and there. I did look up his filmography after this just to see him, like, have I seen him in anything else? And it's always just like small roles he appeared in here and there and little things. But like honestly, I feel like he had a lot of good line reads. Like there's so many lines that he has that are so quotable. You hear everywhere. And it's like, oh, that was him. He does a great read and stuff. But overall, I feel like his character he wasn't a very great actor. Not the character, but like I don't like his acting a whole lot. I found it kind of like limited his range and stuff. But as Taylor here, like I think they put too much of this. Like there's a philosophical kind of feel to it where he's in the beginning he talks about how he's questioning mankind. He's like, there's got to be a better life form out there somewhere in space. That's why he didn't care about coming back and finding Earth. And stuff. And that's kind of like the ultimate it's almost like a Twilight Zone thing where they overarch and he comes back to Earth and he finds apes are there and they're just as bad or oppressive or whatever as humanity as he made it out to be. But his character feels more like this guy who is, I don't know, it's definitely like main character syndrome where he's like, I don't know, like it feels like he's in charge of everything, should be doing everything.
Yeah.
And he talks that way throughout the whole film, even before he's away from all the other humans. It's not just something he does when he's amongst the apes. He's talking this way like around other people.
He definitely has a more larger than life way of talking about himself and everything, basically.
And life in general, yeah.
Yeah.
So I didn't really, to me it didn't click a whole lot. Like I said, I like his line reads and stuff, but just that.
Like, I'll say, I know one of the reasons why I didn't care for this movie the first time I saw it was I thought Charlton Heston really hammed it up in this movie. I thought he said his lines. Rewatching it now, I'm like, you know what? I don't think it's so much him, it's the lines themselves. It's kind of hard to play up lines like, it's a madhouse! A madhouse! How do you make that believable when someone's spraying water at you and you're trying to sound like you're in prison? How do you make that believable? I don't know. It's hard to sell that.
And that Simpsons too. I can't remember they had that line referencing something. It's a madhouse.
Yeah.
A madhouse.
Like that, and even like the end line where he's like, "Damn you all to hell!" It's like those are just
get your paws off me, you damn dirty.
Exactly. I don't know if it's him like hamming it up or just the line itself. And that's when I first watched this movie back like 20 years ago. I thought it was way overdone. Now I'm like, I don't think it's all his fault. I think it's just the lines themselves are just cheesier.
Yeah, I think it is, like you said, a little bit, I want to say it's a little bit hamming, but also the lines. Hammy, and also the lines, but yeah.
So moving on to the next actor, Roddy McDowall was Cornelius. Which was, he was the chimp, the male chimp.
Yeah.
Oh, one of the scientisty...
the fiance one?
Yeah, the fiance
to
Zero.
I liked him. Actually, Zero and him, I know we're talking about Cornelius, but both of them, I really liked them a lot. And I like Cornelius specifically that he kind of starts out as a guy he's like trying to build his career. Like this ape thing, I think everyone seems to be a doctor. Everyone's a professor, a doctor, something like that. And it's like, okay, they value science. They make it seem like they value science, even though
there is religion too.
Yeah, there's religion that kind of is overarching all of that. And he's stuck in this position where he's trying to like grow his career, but at the same time he's trying to help Taylor, Charlton Heston's character, and his wife is like kind of influencing him too.
Yeah.
But he kind of leads more into it. He's a guy who's not really on board at first, really questioning, really doubting, but then as time goes on, he's like, okay, you know what?
The evidence is there.
It's just there.
Yeah.
And he's scientifically minded about it. But I liked him a lot.
Well, even like before like Taylor came to Earth, he was already doing like his own expedition in like the danger zone.
Yeah, the Forbidden Zone.
Yeah, the Forbidden Zone. So he was already kind of skeptical about certain things as it was because there was a lot of things that he was really questioning. This can't be true. Everything they're telling us can't be true because of this. And I thought he did a good job. Yeah, Cornelius was a fun character. He was still more skeptical than Zira, his fiance, because she's like right away like, this guy's talking. He's there's something different about him. She's right away. She's trying to help Taylor, and he's like, no, get out of here. Like, and the thing is too is because there's also like a hierarchy between the apes as well too. Whereas orangutans are definitely on top. They're seen as the smartest, and then chimps, and then I would say the gorillas are at the bottom because they're more like the
grunts,
security, the police, the grunts, exactly. And so he wants to be seen as like a higher intelligent, kind of like the orangutans.
Well, they bring it up how like, oh, the class system is gone, but not really.
Yeah, it still exists.
Yeah.
And we can move on to Zira next.
Well, yeah, Zira, like I kind of mentioned her a little bit before. She's the more empathetic one.
Kim Hunter, played by Kim Hunter. I didn't say that.
She's the more empathetic one. She's like an animal scientist, and I think that gives her that, you know, she wants to help animals as well. Like, yeah, she is studying them, but she's trying to be, you know, she's not trying to harm them as she does it. She's trying to be humane, which is like maybe the wrong word.
Yeah, it's kind of funny seeing humans in the zoos as the animals sort of thing, being hunted and all that. It's kind of cool.
So her character, like the whole time, she is like the, you know, the good-hearted person, I guess, that Taylor meets and bonds with the most.
Empathetic, yeah.
But towards the end, there's one thing that towards the end I'm like, okay, that one I don't like that one little thing she does where she's like, Taylor says, "Can I kiss you before I go?" Which seems weird, and she's like, "You're so ugly." I'm like, why would you say that?
Doctor, I'd like to kiss you goodbye.
All right, but you're so damned ugly.
It's like, to me, it's like, oh, I mean, dogs aren't that intelligent, but like, let's say like a dolphin or something like that. Like, a dolphin wants a kiss, and it's like, oh, you're so freaking ugly. It's like,
well, I just thought the whole interaction was funny. Like, first of all, why are you wanting to kiss her?
Yeah, like that's maybe a thing for the time. I feel like it's even earlier. Like, I'll give a woman a kiss on the cheek.
In the 70s, yeah, I could see like even if you watch like Family Feud and what's his face was the host. He'd always kiss the women. So it was just a thing, a greeting sort of.
Yeah. But yeah, like just that one little thing where she calls him ugly, it's like that feels out of character. Like, you know, if you work with horses or something, like, yeah, people kiss horses or whatever and stuff. Yeah. To be like, oh, this horse is ugly. It's just like, I know. You don't look at them that way. They're just all like that.
Sympathetic and empathetic to him the whole time, and then right now you just insult him as he wants to give you a kiss. Yeah. No, I agree with you. I liked her too. I thought she was great. She was great with Cornelius, and basically kind of leading Cornelius along for the ride, because he at first he definitely did not want to go along with this, and he just wanted to, you know, be with the orangutans, and he didn't want to buck that. He didn't want to go against societal norms, I guess. And yeah, he just couldn't go against it when he saw that the evidence was there, though. That's what it was. And her, she right away, she was, as soon as she heard him talk, she was even before that. Like, he was spelling stuff out too. She saw him write something, and she read what he wrote. So she knew right away that something was different about Taylor, and she was believing him, everything he said, whereas everybody else was very skeptical about anything that Taylor said. And then the last ape we can talk about probably is Dr. Zaius, played by Maurice Evans.
I had the complete wrong impression of this based on The Simpsons. Like, I thought he was an ally because I love you, Dr. Zaius.
He never says that.
He never says that. He's an asshole the whole time.
He never says I love you, Dr. Zaius.
Like, if there is a villain, it's Dr. Zaius. Like, clearly. And so I had the wrong impression going in that he was going to be some kind of like even like when we kind of meet him for the first time, I thought, okay, but Zira and Cornelius will change him. Like, he's going to come around or something. No, he never does. He's like a dick trying to cover things up and everything. Yeah, he does a pretty good job of being this like intellectual, like kind of like aristocratic, I guess, more than intellectual, because he's trying to keep the status quo of what apes and human relationships are like. Yeah, he doesn't want to go into it, but he does like use his scientific mind to try and turn things down, like. It's not, you know, he's not just covering it up because he's being corrupt, although he is. He makes it seem like there's logic to it. Like, he's putting flawed logic towards it.
Exactly. Like, even when they're proving evidence against the fact that, you know, humans did thrive on this planet. He's saying, no, well, my niece has a doll like that too, or something like because they pull out a doll. Like, dolls existed back then. What ape would have a human doll? Well, my niece has one of those. You know, it's nothing. It doesn't mean anything. Yeah, I like Dr. Zaius because he was definitely against the humans and even against Cornelius and Zira because they're trying to help Taylor. And I think he knows that there's something different about Taylor, but he does not want it to screw with their society because it's going to mess up with their whole religion and their science, and it's going to mess with everything that they know.
Yeah, he definitely knows because he's tried like earlier on. Taylor's writing in the sand stuff, and Dr. Zaius sees like a lot of it gets covered up as Dr. Zaius sees like a few words.
Yeah,
and he scribbles it out himself and doesn't say anything. So he knew the whole time that at least this was a possibility or something, and he's covering it up. I know you said that was like the main cast. There is one other character that I liked so much. I want to kind of talk about them. Was Lucius, the nephew or whatever.
Okay, yeah, he was in it for like
the last minute
15.
I wish he was in it earlier.
Yeah,
because he's like this teenager one, and like that's kind of like the thing they kind of keep coming back to about how he's a teenager going against the older people. Yeah. Like it's sick and like I liked him a lot. Like that little dynamic he had. First of all, he comes in and he's not questioning Taylor at all. Like everyone else is kind of spooked about humans or worried, but he comes in having never met Taylor before. And he's just like, oh yeah, you do talk, just like Zira said. Okay, and he's all chummy, which no one else has done this whole time.
Very open-minded, yeah, more so than anybody else.
But I like this character. Like he was to me because everyone else is like the science class characters or whatever, and he's one that I guess, as far as we know, isn't. But he comes in with a fresh view. That's what I like about him a lot. I
mean, we could also mention Nova as well too, if you want. The other human. So Nova is Linda Harrison. So she doesn't speak, just like any of the humans on this planet. They don't speak. They're mutes. And so that's what's different about Taylor is that he's able to communicate and talk and spell and everything. He's a lot more intelligent than the humans that are basically just like cave people sort of thing. They're very primitive. That's what it is. And she's one of them.
I like she definitely has this look about her that she's like prehistoric, archaic, or whatever.
Yeah.
But she is kind of understanding a few things. She's not all the way there. Like she doesn't get everything.
Well, when he spills something in the sand and she covers it up, I'm like, is she trying to save him or something, or is she just being a playful?
I think she's being at that point. I think she's being playful.
Okay, because I wasn't sure. It almost seemed intentional.
Because later on, she's mimicking him like with a smile and whatever. That she's learning that he's doing things that are getting rewarded, so she should do it too. But actually, one other thing I wanted to ask, because we see when they have like that tribunal or whatever, that's all orangutans that are like the leaders.
Yeah.
And, you know, like we said before, so many things reference this. So in the Futurama, when there's that Dr. Banjo, Professor Banjo, is that a reference to Planet of the Apes? I just thought of that after watching some clips recently and like, because there's a huge fight about evolution with Dr. Banjo.
Yeah.
Who's an orangutan?
Yeah.
Fighting, and it's like,
but what's the missing link between those links?
Yeah. And I feel like that's got to be a Planet of the Apes reference. But yeah, I just wanted to bring that up. I should have brought it up when we were talking about him earlier, but yeah.
No, I'm not sure if it's supposed to be.
But I wish Nova had more to do. Like, she's there and she doesn't really do anything.
She's there to look good, and she's there.
Oh, definitely that.
She's there for Charlton Heston's Taylor to be attracted to.
That's what I was gonna say.
Basically,
just so the audience knows that Charlton Heston's character has something to fuck.
Exactly.
Maybe he did it there, or maybe he's gonna do it after the.
He's just tagging her along everywhere as he goes. Like she's a piece of meat, basically. Just. He owns her, it seems like, just the way he acts.
Okay, in the beginning, when they're on the ship and stuff, they have that one female.
Yeah.
And she dies, but they say that, you know, the plan was that they would procreate with her.
Yeah, I think it was Stuart, I think was her name is.
Yeah, Stuart. But it's just like, I wonder, like, if Charlton Heston was like, if we're going to be like three guys stuck on a Planet of the Apes, I want there to be someone that I can fuck. So give me like a female, if we have these other humans, make sure there's one hot one that I get with. That my character gets with, so it doesn't seem like I'm not having sex.
I'll say this is definitely an older movie because there's some definite misogyny in this movie. The way they treat like Nova and the way they even talk about Stuart, like he's almost like, oh darn, she died, and it's not even that big of a deal.
Not even a big deal. I kind of wonder if that was supposed to be something. I don't want to get too much into the movie because that is a point I made. We can get into that when we get into it. But yeah, I was just like.
Yeah.
It's just like, is something, did I miss something here? Like, no one seems to care that much.
No, they didn't. I mean, the one astronaut mentioned, like, you think that you'd be more choked up about it or something, like, there's nothing you can do about it. Like, there was an air leak in her tank that must have killed her over a year ago. I was like, okay, you think you'd care a little more.
I thought that there was going to be some other plot to that. Like, there was someone sabotaged something or whatever, which could explain, like, why they thought they were off course or whatever, or something like that, but...
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess we'll just get to the movie in full.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, so it starts out with Taylor and his crew. So there's 4 of them on this one space shuttle from Earth, and they're just exploring space, basically.
Oh, so it's like Taylor, Landon, Stewart, and Rod or Dodd, something like odd. It was
I don't remember their names.
Yeah, I think he was like the one black guy. Everyone else is white.
Yeah, and they go into cryo sleep, and you can see on the ticker of the time how much time goes by, and it's huge, like Earth years. It's about 2,000 years.
It starts in 2,678, and then there's like a time jump after they get in the pod, and it's like 3,978. So like 1,300 years.
Yeah.
As well.
Or it was
the planetary wise, it says like when they left, it was like 1978. Because how they're traveling at whatever speed of light means like time will be different when they get back.
Yeah. And then something goes wrong on the ship, and they crash land on this planet.
Well, I was going to say about the ship, like in the beginning, he's doing that kind of monologue, like making a recording or whatever, a log. But he's like smoking in the ship.
Yes.
Come on, you fucking asshole. Everyone's going to use that air. You're fucking sitting there smoking.
Times were different, man. 1968.
And like the loading sequence. With the landing sequence. Sorry, when they're coming in for like the crash landing, whatever, like that. It's all like first person. Like you don't actually see the ship, and it was just like so weird. I feel like they just had like a camera hanging from a helicopter or a plane, and they just flew kind of low over these like landscapes, whatever. Because it's just like very erratic. Maybe it's sped up a little bit. I'm not sure, but very erratic until they hit the water, and then kind of goes under a bit.
Yeah, and the first time you actually like see them outside the ship is like when they're in the water and they're hopping out of the ship.
And I didn't understand like the female astronaut being dead, just like there's an air leak. I'm like, but I mean, how does that work? I mean, there's air inside. Well, if it was leaking, is it leaking outside? Because then shouldn't you all be losing air?
I don't know. I think it would air leak in her capsule because it was a crack. I think in her capsule that she was in.
But air is outside as well.
But I think it's a different type of air because they're like cryo sleep. I think is what it was, and so she wouldn't have been breathing or whatever in cryo sleep. Maybe her body would have been in cryo sleep, but her actual like the air she was breathing, I don't know.
I wouldn't have called it air. I would have called it like her whatever the gas is that they had in there. I wouldn't have called it air. It's all. And then when they're getting off the ship, they climb up like to the spout, to the nose cone of it, and there's like a device in there which just looks like a barber shop kind of
like a
spot pole.
Okay.
And I thought that was just funny, that thing there. And then like the power was out, that they couldn't put like a beacon or like a emergency beacon.
Yeah.
But they could still read the calendar and stuff. I was like, okay. And their life raft looked way too small for 3 guys, and it was very shitty. I'm like, what if Stuart was alive? Like, I don't know how you guys would get in there. But yeah, so like you said, they crashed the ship in this lake in the middle of what we eventually find out is Forbidden Zone, which is like a vast desert basically.
Yeah.
And then they sail out to the lands, like the actual solid land. And from that point, well, first of all, I gotta ask, like, okay, from that point, they're wandering around for like 20 minutes, which I was like, if this is what the movie is, when them wandering around, I knew there was apes eventually, but like, how much of this is there?
Yeah.
But like immediately, they don't think they're on Earth. I'm like, why would you? Like, well, they were heading there.
Taylor says that according to their projections, that they were somewhere else. He said that they were on some other planet and whatever galaxy. He's I don't know why he said that, but according to their projections or whatever, that when they were flying, that's where they were.
And then, like, how did they know how? Like, they said that they figured that that woman was dead a year.
Yeah, that's what he said.
And it's like, how do you know that?
I think just based on the rigor mortis, I guess.
Yeah.
She was mostly skeletal.
Yeah, and then Landon like makes a little, I guess, I don't know if it's a monument to her.
Oh
or
yeah, the rocks, and then puts a flag.
And he laughs at the flag. And
That was such an odd laugh. Like, it's such a hard laugh.
I wrote, laugh at the American flag was weird. Like, he's the villain?
And then, and then the camera like pans in and it looks up. It was awkward. It was what is this?
Weird.
What are we? Why is he laughing at that?
And he just becomes this asshole. Like, he's just immediately ripping into Landon. Like, Landon's just kind of curious, asking questions about humanity. What would happen if humanity's gone? How are we going to survive? Blah, blah, blah. And he's just ripping into Landon. He just starts tearing Landon apart. Like, oh, you were probably some, like, all-American, whatever, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And he just tears him down. And it's just like, why are you doing this, man? Like, you guys gotta... If it wasn't you believed on a different planet and it's only you three, you gotta work together.
Yeah.
You just ripping them apart.
Why do you want to be a dick to these guys that you're going to be living with the rest of your life?
And that's when I noticed the music. The music was very weird and experimental.
Yeah.
It's just all this sting. Like,
But I think that kind of happened when you saw the humans, the tribe people.
this, I do have it here earlier. Like, I kind of went, as I went through the movie, I'm writing this stuff down. So it's kind of like throughout the whole movie, there's a lot of, like, what I would say is a musical sting. Like, and that's the thing. And I'm like, it feels experimental. Almost like maybe they're trying to imitate, like, apes and monkeys playing on instruments. Like, this is kind of what it sounds like. And I don't think it ever really gets much better. Like, there's no actual...
Yeah, I don't think there's really a score to the movie that I can think of.
I did like the scenery. Like, I looked up where it was filmed. Like, it was like Utah and California and stuff. Like, it's... All the outdoor stuff in this movie is fantastic. I love, like, the scenery.
Desolate scenery that they have. Yeah.
I'm surprised, like, so much, like, open areas. And there's spots where, like, when they're coming down, like, this hillside in this desert place, and it looks like maybe a few days ago, like, water ran down because it was wet at some point and it dried out. And there's no footprints in front of them. So, like, either they just did this in the first take, or they've been going, like, to different places and filming
when they're recording.
again.
Exactly. How do you sweep that to make it clear?
But then maybe they waited for another rainfall or something like that. It was very impressive. I liked that. They specifically mentioned there's no moon. So we know, like, I wrote that down because I was like, okay, they talk about tides later on.
Yeah.
But, like, if there's no moon, how are you having tides? I mean, there could be other distant bodies. I don't know how much of a tide you.
But also at the same time, you don't see the moon every night. Like, there's times where the moon's on the other side of the planet.
I assume that they figured it out when they were coming towards the planet that they saw no moon.
Yeah, I don't know.
They were in sleep until
exactly
the
crash. So how would they know?
But yeah, no moon, and again. So if this isn't Earth, or if this is Earth, like, I think that'd be a dead giveaway.
They blew it up.
They were there for a while, so he should have figured that out at some point. Seeing the moon, because they trek out into the Forbidden Zone. He's out in an outdoor cage at points. Like, if there is no moon, he should have figured it out. I think.
I don't know.
Yeah, I drew it up.
There are definitely hints in this movie to say, like, yes, this is Earth. Like, even it's just the whole fact that, like, humans, the doll obviously was one of the big things, and the things, all of the different artifacts they found in the past, they allude to it quite a bit. But I'll say this, like, I don't know if you knew this, but the original book, apparently it wasn't Earth. It's based on. I'm trying to think I'm trying to think.
I didn't know it was based on a book, but yeah, I didn't know.
It's a French book. So yeah, Pierre Boulle wrote the novel La Planète des Signes, which was adapted by Michael Wilson, and Rod Serling was one of the writers actually for this. So that's where you kind of get your feel for your Twilight Zone, obviously, right there.
Yeah.
And it was actually Rod Serling that came up with the idea for it to be on Earth and had the whole the ending of I guess having the Statue of Liberty there.
Yeah, it definitely feels like a Twilight Zone twist at the end.
Yeah,
right?
and that's definitely where it came from. So I just wonder, like, if it wasn't Earth, all the hints of it being like Earth and having the hierarchy of like humans and apes and all that stuff, was that in the original book as well too? Like, what stuff did they take away from the original book?
But also, like, there's stuff like, they find those plants and stuff. Mm-hmm. Things that evolve over time. Like 1,000 years or even like 1,300 years is not much in the grand scheme of things. You should tell those plants are whatever plants from Earth, right? Especially since if it's a Statue of Liberty's there, I'm assuming we're in America, where they were from.
Yeah.
So they should recognize these plants. Like, I mean, 1,300 years is just like in modern days.
It's about 2,000 years because I think I wrote down
Whatever.
it was 3978.
So 2,000 years is like going back to the ancient Egyptians.
Yeah.
No, actually, about Jesus. It's more like Jesus.
Yeah.
About his time. So it's like, yeah, but we still know, like, the plants that were around then. Like, it's not like they evolved a whole lot. They were unrecognizable. These people should have known. If they were, like, they have all these scientific kits and stuff with them, which I'll get into that too. Like, these astronauts landed in a lake. Doesn't say salt water. It's just lake. And then they start wandering around a desert, and they only have 8 ounces of water on them.
Yeah.
Like, you think they would have taken more? It's just like, I don't get that.
Well, if it's true that they blew up the planet, then maybe there's radiation, and radiation destroyed a lot of the stuff, and it's like new foliage that grew up, and it's not the stuff that they're familiar with.
I mean, I kind of assumed that too, but until I see the sequels, I don't.
Yeah, I haven't seen 2, 3, 4, or 5. So.
But I like, they're still under the impression that this is an alien planet. They don't know, but they find the plants at first, and then eventually they see these scarecrows, which clearly some intelligent life made these scarecrow things. Their first idea, let's just go right towards them. It's like, I think that'd be a warning. I think you'd understand, like,
go toward them and get naked and jump in the first water we see too.
Yeah. And like, all of them jump in the water. You think one of them would be like, you know what, maybe I'll just stand back, or let's test the water or
You don't know if there's any kind of sea life under or water life under there or anything. Like, if there's any kind of bacteria that you can get, you just dive right in. Nah, whatever, we're going to be living here. We got to enjoy it.
The least scientific approach for these scientists.
Yeah.
And you think, so briefly after that, they run into what these humans are that are left on the planet who, like we already said, are kind of archaic and prehistoric looking kind of peoples.
They don't really get to interact with them right away though, because their horn goes off.
Their clothes get taken, and then they kind of follow them, and then they see these. They're foraging. They're basically foragers at that point in time, and they don't really interact with them. They're kind of set aside. But before they can really explore further, then you get those horns and stuff start happening.
Yeah, and then they're running through the corn and stuff like that, and you kind of see a bunch of rustling and stuff above them. You don't know quite what's. I mean, you know what's going on because you've probably seen.
Yeah, but then like sticks are slapping down.
Big sticks are coming down.
And then you see the apes, and then you say, But you think, like, even in that beginning, we see there's humans on this planet. They would have known humans. These apes are riding horses. The apes have guns. Yeah. I'd be like, okay, this is a lot of Earth stuff for a planet that's not Earth. Yeah. And then the apes themselves, sure, they're hyper intelligent, but they're still apes. Like, you think you'd put it together at that point?
Nah, man. Like I said, the original book, it wasn't even Earth, so I'm just wondering, like, how much translated to, like, just this planet. Like, I know you don't know the answer, but, like, did that planet have humans? I'm assuming it had humans too. So it probably made even less sense in the book.
Convergent evolution, where they just have the same type of.
Here it actually makes sense what they're doing.
What I didn't get is, like, also I'm wondering, what were they trying to do with the humans? Like, if they were trying to capture them for experiments and stuff, why did they start killing so many of them?
Well, yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, they're shooting a lot of these humans that are running away from them. Some of them are just putting in nets. Other ones, they're killing.
I could understand if, like, they were coming at you. I think there was, like, one or two that come at them or something that actually pose a threat. And sure, then you're shooting them because there's a danger. But a lot of them are just running away and shooting them.
I think it is also a sport for them too. Like, they are also hunting because they pose with the dead bodies as well too afterwards.
Yeah.
So it is. I think it's a sport for them. Plus, I think they're getting them for, like, their zoo and for testing. I think it's everything.
Are they eating them too? Like,
oh, I haven't thought of that.
Well, because when I think of, like, posing and stuff, you get trophy animals, which we see later that they are taxidermying.
Yeah.
Like, the black guy gets killed in this initial.
Yeah, they see him, like, his white out eyes.
He's taxidermied, which is kind of cool. Like, I like that they
dark.
I mean, it was such a shift, from everything else. I liked that.
No, I like it too, but it's dark. It's a dark thing to see your friend as a taxidermied person.
And then the other guy, Landon, who's, like, the black guy hardly had any lines. Like, he was decent, but he didn't really do much. Yeah. He's killed. Landon's the other guy who, like, the all-American dude they're talking about. He gets bumped in the head and, like, falls off a cliff.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to him.
But we see he gets, like, taken. Like, I think they put him in a net or something like that. He gets captured too.
Yeah.
And then Taylor, almost gets away, but he gets shot in the neck.
Yeah.
And like,
it's a very convenient spot to get shot for a race of people that don't speak, and he can no longer speak.
Like that wound, because after that we follow him. He gets taken to whatever facility for examination, experimentation, whatever. But that wound didn't look very good. Like it basically it's red.
Yeah, it's like red paint
coloring.
almost.
Yeah, and it just kind of basically wiped off.
It was very similar. Like I recently watched the Fistful of Dollars movie with Charlton Heston, which is a more recent movie. Actually, I think it's a little older actually than this movie. Anyways, the blood in that it'd be like very like painty kind of blood.
Yeah.
I think it was just of the time. They didn't really have really good effects for blood.
But they never even put like any kind of. They put a bandage eventually, but there's no scar.
Yeah, no actual wound for the hole.
You think there'd be something.
Yeah, true.
And something that I, like initially, right as soon as I see these apes in costumes, like I think the costumes and stuff look good, the prosthetics and all that, you know, for the time, good.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
But I don't like how, for the most part, like there are some actors who do it, but by and large, most of them are just walking around like normal humans.
Yeah.
Like
They're not selling the fact that they're an ape in any way.
Zero and Cornelius actually do it a little bit more, where they is it pigeon-toed or duck-footed or whatever?
Yeah, they're more wide-legged.
And they walk around like that. But anyone who's not the main cast, anyways, they just walk normally. It's like, okay, you're not really selling it, guys.
Just put a mask on them and you're in the background.
Yeah, and then the lip movements of those prosthetics, like they aren't very good. Like sometimes they always just be open a little bit.
Yeah.
And just up and down, which is whatever. Again, I'll give them leeway on that.
Yeah, for the prosthetics that they have, I mean, you do with what you got. You can't really change that. I mean, like you said, they still looked good, but yeah, when they moved, it was a lot of just like that. It was.
I watched very closely, and towards the end, I could see Dr. Zayas when he was talking one time that I could see the human lips underneath.
Yeah,
I can notice it. I'm sure it happens more.
There was a time earlier on too where I saw a second set of teeth too, when they kind of leaned their head back a bit and they were talking. I said, "Oh, okay, I could see more in the mouth of the mouth."
And speaking of their mouths and stuff, like when we kind of eventually see Zira and Cornelius when they first meet, they do this little kiss, and I like that. It's just it's just like, oh, it's, I don't want to say it's human, but it feels more like the social side that to this point always seen as like everyone kind of follows the ape society doctrine.
Yeah.
And this was a little bit more personal. Like, oh, okay, there's a little bit more to these apes than what we've been allowed to see so far. So I like that. There's like so many times when he's in the cage though, because they're always like looking at him, they seem to want to know why humans don't talk. Like they're like, no one ever talks, and they're trying to test their intelligence stuff. I feel like there was a lot of times where he could have done a bunch of different things to show he's intelligent, not just because writing's the big breakthrough that we see eventually, right? But like he could be like banging a tune on the bars, like dun, 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 dun.
They would just think he's a crazy, stupid primate.
But you could do so many things. He could. I mean, I don't know. I was gonna say he could make something like a toy or something out of like the straw in the cell, but I guess they were making scarecrows, so that they wouldn't count that.
Yeah.
But I feel like there's a lot you could have done. Like, I don't know. It feels like it takes a long time for them to get to that point of knowing he's intelligent when there's a lot of opportunities for him.
And something like they call him Bright Eyes before he's able to talk. They call him Bright Eyes. So did none of the humans have blue eyes? I'm guessing. Like were they all like brown-eyed people? He
seems to be the only blue-eyed person that I noticed.
Yeah.
He's also like blonde, which none of them are.
True. So he already is a standout in that sense. And I'll say what I like about the whole Bright Eyes thing is it's. They do a callback to that in the more recent Planet of the Apes when they Caesar, like the main character of the new Planet of the Apes movies, his mother's name was Bright Eyes. So I thought that was actually cool that they did that. They did an homage to who Bright Eyes is, because when they give her the serum that makes all the apes, her eye color changes and it's more of a brighter color.
And like he gets burned later, and that looks pretty fake too. Do you remember how he gets burned? Oh yeah, he's in the outdoor cage. And they put a torch. Oh yeah. It looks fake as well, just like a brown paint spot.
Yeah, I did.
Or black.
Well, no, the black that was after the fact. Actually, the burn didn't look too bad. They put that on as like a healing, I think, thing after the black spot. It didn't look bad actually. The burn, I thought it looked decent. It was after the fact. They actually kind of did something to help heal.
But I don't know, like when he eventually kind of starts writing and showing them, like a lot of guys dismiss that and don't believe it. It's like, dude, he's writing in full sentences
It's a trick that you taught him or something, yeah.
grammatically and stuff, and he can explain things.
Yeah.
Like if he is an astronaut and a scientist, or whatever, he could be like writing things out. Like, well, if you mix vinegar with baking soda, this will happen. And he could be teaching them stuff because the apes are kind of like maybe like 1 or 2 levels below. Like they're probably like the era of humanity colonizing North America, the Americas.
Yeah.
That's probably their level. Where he's like from the 1978s, where they had like machine guns and nuclear weapons and stuff like that. Like he should be able to teach them tons of stuff.
Like when he talks, it's not like he's saying me Tarzan, you Jane, like simple talk. He's speaking on their level or even higher, really.
Yeah, but like, what was I gonna say? Oh, it's very convenient that the apes speak English as well.
Yes.
They didn't find someone else.
You know, I think that way about like every sci-fi movie, like even like Star Wars when they go to a planet and oh look, they speak the same language as us too. It's a very convenient thing that a lot of sci-fi movies you just gotta go with.
Well, and then getting shot in the throat was another There's a lot of convenient things that happen in this film.
Yes.
And it's just like, oh, maybe if you took one of them out, it'd be not as noticeable. But having so many of them is just like, eh. And like I said about like him, if he would show them things that they don't know, he shows them the plane, the paper plane.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you guys don't know how to do that.
Well, Sarah and Cornelius were amazed by it.
Yeah. No one else, like, things don't fly like that. It's like, he's showing you. He could have done that so many times. Yeah. And it's, for the most part, covered up until he escapes. And, like, they capture him out in the market or whatever.
A lot of it is Dr. Zayas covering shit up, though. I think, especially like the airplane. He takes it, he just crumples it. It's like no, right away. It's just a lot of it is just him like saying no. You can't do this.
That's the cover up. But when he's out in public and they're chasing him around, he goes to the museum and stuff, and like he ends up in the public square, wherever that is.
Yeah.
And they catch him in the net, and he's healed enough that he can finally speak. That's when like, okay, Dr. Zayas can't cover that up because there's like 50 or 60 apes and stuff all around.
And I think that's probably why it's such a big quotable line is take your sticky paws off me, you damn dirty ape. It's because he finally is able to say something, and they're like, taken aback.
Yeah. And I like, at one point, I think it's during the tribunal, they use the phrase scientific heresy. Like, how that doesn't make any sense. It's a contradiction because science is like either you have facts or you disprove the facts. So to disprove a fact is not heresy. You found new logic or new meaning or something new, a new wing of science. It's not a heresy to prove something wrong. Like, you thought the world was round or thought the world was flat and it's round. Like, that's not, you weren't being heretical. I mean, I guess they kind of did back then.
Yeah, they definitely did. But that's a lot of what this is like, though. It's like a lot of them proving things wrong, and they don't like that.
But I mean, logically, that doesn't make sense. Like, you can't be heretical of something that you're always looking to either disprove or confirm, right? Like, Landon, so they find Landon at that point, after they kind of start talking, like the tribunal, and they start talking to Taylor and stuff. He tells them their story, and they're like, oh, let's try and prove your points then.
Yeah, if you know any of these people here, let them speak to you.
So then they go, he talks about Landon, and they're like, whoa, these are all the guys we captured. And they go find Landon. Mm-hmm. He made a point earlier on saying that Landon was graying or whatever, but here he's not really gray. Like, they did shave that part of his head.
I think it was actually in his beard, in his facial hair that they were talking about.
Because, Landon's got, they did something, like a lobotomy to him. Like,
you see the big scar on the side of his head.
Which they kind of explain, like, how much of it is a cover-up and how much isn't. Like, was Landon talking or not? We did see him get hit in the head.
Yeah.
And Dr. Zayas says they did it to help him because he had, like, brain trauma or whatever. Yeah. And they ended up removing part of it.
Bullshit, Dr. Zayas.
Yeah.
Full of shit.
And then I don't get is like sometimes Taylor, like he runs around that town, he fights a lot of apes.
Yeah.
And he takes on like tons of them.
I had that written down. Like for apes, they don't have ape-like strength anymore, obviously.
Sometimes he takes on a whole bunch of them, and sometimes one is enough to stop him. It's like, what's going on here?
Definitely, in the 2000 years, they did not continue with their strength. They don't, not a lot of upper body.
Yeah. There's a point in that tribunal as well where they're being, I think Cornelius is talking to him about all the stuff he found in the Forbidden Zone that contradicts what they believe, and the orangutans, the judges or whatever, the professors, they do the see no evil, speak no evil, hear no evil thing. And
I love seeing that.
that.
I just took a picture of it. I was like, this is actually kind of cute seeing this. They just like the eyes over the head of the eyes, over the ears, and then over the mouth. And it's because like, they're like thinking as they were speaking, and this is like their way of like processing. And it was just cute seeing all the three of them.
Yeah, like, and another thing I wrote down is like, he should have made another airplane there when they're like, he's like telling them about his spaceship and stuff. They don't believe him. Like, you could have made all that up, or you could be a mutant and blah, blah. Okay, but if he can make something that you guys don't know how to make, that would prove it. And like I said, we saw it before, and Zaius, is Zaius the only one covering it up, or are they all working towards that? Because there are different professors, the way they put it out.
I feel like he speaks for all of them, basically. He's just like the head of the...
But even so, there's guards and other apes there that if he made another airplane to show them that, like, I feel like that would kind of start getting more of them questioning what's going on. But yeah. And then there's a line there, most men look alike to apes.
Yeah.
I can't remember who says that. It was Zero or
I think it was Zira. I think it was Zira that said that.
And I'm like, come on. Taylor is like the one blonde, blue-eyed human you have on the whole planet.
Yeah.
Like, it's like looking, you know...
I think it's a funny thing because it's like us looking at apes. Like, a lot of them will look the same to us. Basically.
But if I saw one that had a big silverback compared to the rest, I'm like,
yes,
that one's different.
Yeah.
It's colors. It's not...
Yes.
Yeah.
But maybe they're colorblind.
And the shaving scene seems so pointless.
Oh, it was. During like the last 10 minutes of the movie, he just shaved. It was so unnecessary to shave.
So yeah, Zero managed to get her nephew, that Lucius, because they don't... Well, Zaius kind of brings in Taylor at first, and he tells him, like, you know what, I know that you're proving some stuff wrong, but I've been warned about like our ancient scrolls, which I wish that we actually got to see some of these scrolls, rather than always bringing them up for a counterpoint.
Yeah, Zaius always references it. Says, and in this part of the scrolls, he's just always referencing.
Yeah, I wish that they would actually like say some of these things first. Like, it doesn't have to be everything of the whole scroll system that they have.
Yeah,
but just let us know some of them instead of like bringing them out of the blue to contradict what's going on.
Yeah.
But anyway, Zaius kind of tells him, like, I've been warned about mankind and stuff like this, and I'm not letting you get like a foothold here, basically, with what you're trying to prove. Well, so
going back to him shaving, I feel like maybe that was just another way for him to differentiate himself from the other humans, though.
But but they were
they're all, primal.
But they were basically going to like geld him and like kill him and stuff.
Literally said that.
So Zira like sneaks him out. She gets Lucius to sneak him out.
Yeah.
And they go to the Forbidden Zone to try and find this indisputable evidence that Cornelius claims to know was out there.
Yeah.
The site he was at.
Dug it up himself.
And that's where he shaves. He shaves out there.
Yeah.
But I just don't like how he's like, oh, you got rid of your beard? He's like, yeah, only the kids grew beard in my time. It's just like, kids?
In the 60s, I guess. Young people.
I'm assuming he meant young people. Kids seem
people
like
in their 20s probably. That was a thing in the 60s.
Yeah. I mean, in our time, I think beards are...
It's anywhere nowadays. Mustaches, beards. It's pretty universal.
I think, just people don't like having a baby face anymore. Not that Heston had a baby face, but...
No, not at all. Especially at this age. He's probably in his mid-40s at this point.
Yeah. I think, that's most of it. So, I had like what happened to the moon that's never brought up again. But that's about it, because at that point, they go to the research site. Zaius and some of the apes go and meet them there because they know where they're heading, right? Yeah. So they go out there, they find some proof, like basically they go down layers in the sediment, and they find proof of like humans, but it's actually like they're de-evolving. The way that the timeline goes, like the stuff closer to the surface is less advanced than the stuff down below, which should be the opposite, right? Because if it's older stuff, you think that would be them starting as cavemen.
More primitive.
Cavemen go into modern times.
Yeah.
But it's the opposite until they find this doll, which Cornelius, or not Cornelius, Zaius tries to like you said earlier,
explain away. Yeah.
Explain away. Oh, my daughter has a human doll.
Until the doll talks.
The doll talks, making human noise.
Says,
Which is like, so like Nova has a reaction to that, and I'm like, does she know what that is? Because they don't talk. Humans don't talk.
Yeah.
Well, she is kind of scared. I don't know what her reaction is
They're
supposed to be.
confused. Like, why would a doll of a human say words? Like, why would it talk?
I was just waiting for him to pick up the doll and it says "Made in China" or something on the back. Like,
Like, where is China?
but yeah. So after that, Cornelius still is like, "I'm gonna indisputable proof," but he's gonna hide it. He blows up the dig, but not before they hold him hostage briefly. Taylor, Cornelius, and Zira hold Zaius hostage, and they manage to get a deal with them where Taylor and Nova can take off along the coast just to find whatever's out there, like a chance at another forest of humanity.
I'm not 100% sure, like, does Zaius know what is out there? Because he's like, you're not going to like what you're going to find.
I think he has ideas what could be out there, but whether or not any of that still exists.
As soon as he says that, it's like he's already saying he knows about, like, the human evolution, it seems like.
I think he probably knows there's a good chance he'll find more human structures, evidence of humanity and stuff, but, like, what happened, like, whatever big warning they have, like, the humans did something bad. We know that they did something bad, and he's not going to like it.
Yeah.
Maybe he doesn't know exactly what, but he had a warning from wherever he gets this information from. The scrolls, maybe?
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, and that leads to the classic scene that I think most people know, where he rides along the beach to find the debris of what remains from the Statue of Liberty. You blew it up.
Maniacs, you blow it up. Damn you, God damn you, out of hell.
Yeah.
I was like, having it up again, Charlton. But it's a classic scene, and I can see why. It would be shocking going into this movie in 1968, having no idea, even with all the hints, having no idea that this is Earth. That would be pretty, like, mind-blowing.
Well,
especially when you didn't really do mind-blowing moments like that in movies back in the day.
I was telling my mom before, I'm like, yeah, me and Country Boy are going to watch these old movies and stuff. And I don't think she'd seen 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, but I brought up Planet of the Apes. She's like, oh yeah, like, I don't know if it'll hold up now, but, you know, back then when I saw, like, that was, like, mind-blowing, like, how they made the apes look and stuff. And then the ending, the big twist, so I was like, okay, I mean, I knew it going in and stuff, so it's really hard. That's kind of ruined for us already.
I do wonder, like, if we had fresh eyes going into this movie, not knowing the ending, would we have be able to piece it together? Like, would we have figured it out? I feel like with all the movies we've seen nowadays, that it would have been, like, an obvious thing for us.
Yeah.
But I mean, back then, I don't think anybody would have been.
You know, you could always take your son Henry and put him in a box, never let him see the movie, and then one day whip it out when he's old enough to understand it. Bring him out of the box and be like, watch this movie. Yeah. With no
don't have any outside influence whatsoever.
See what he says. Yeah. Is it good? Is it good? Okay, Daddy's been working on this for like 30 years. Like,
yeah, exactly. It's like Schrodinger's cat sort of thing.
Yeah.
So just a couple of fun things that I noticed, or fun facts as well too. Like when he was handcuffed, when Taylor was handcuffed, you notice how he had that like, bar behind him and his arms were like, that looked uncomfortable as hell.
I noticed it, but maybe I didn't see it when it was clear. I was just like, how is this bar factored in here? I didn't really understand how it was there.
Yeah, it's like the cuffs were attached to the bar and his hands were attached to the cuffs, and it just looks super awkward and super uncomfortable. I'm like, how many hours a day was he attached to this thing? Because that looked super uncomfortable. There was that, and then there was also, the apes were pushovers because he just is running through them, no problem.
Oh, I was gonna say another thing is like, this movie really made me appreciate modern fight choreography. Yeah. Because it's just like basically got one big punch.
Yeah, it was almost like watching
double axe handles.
Old school like Batman, sort of like a sock, bam, sort of thing.
And there's not really a great shot to capture, like an angle or anything. It's just kind of usually pretty flat.
Yeah. A lot of this movie, I noticed the camera would be like just zoom in on something. Like it would be like, focus on something and then it would just zoom in. I was like, okay, that's one way to go, I guess. It's very, very simplistic camera work, I'd say. And then just some fun facts that I found out. Like, apparently originally in the original script of the movie, the women were supposed to be topless, like real naked.
Yeah, I did see that too.
I was like, that'd have been a fun movie to watch, especially Nova. She's pretty good looking. But Fox was against it. They're like, no, they gotta market this to the whole family.
I don't think it's necessary.
It's not necessary at all. And I'm okay that they didn't do that because it is marketable to more people this way, and it's become such a huge franchise, which I love. And also this factor, actors in ape costumes, they had to wear their prosthetics, I guess, throughout the day.
Yeah.
A lot. So the food that they ate was a lot like liquefied food, so they had to like drink it through a straw.
Yeah.
Because they didn't want to mess up their prosthetics. So I thought that was kind of a fun.
I read that one too, but like the main actress was just basically like, I'm not doing that. So she actually like kind of starved herself a little bit. Like she'd wait till her thing was over, her day of shooting was over, and then she'd like Zera's actress would then eat after the fact.
Well, I think that's going to be basically for the synopsis of the movie. We went through quite a bit of it. Now we got to go into the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yeah.
I'll let you start with the good.
I really like the scenery. Basically, whenever they were outdoors, like the interiors, not so much, like the jail cell, the tribunal area, that stuff like kind of looks like kind of plaster fake stuff or whatever. But when it's actually outdoors, like when they're walking in the canyon, when they go to the Forbidden Zone towards the end, I liked all that stuff. Like those were great landscapes to use for this film because they look like desolate, maybe alien worlds. We know it's not, but it's like apocalypse, I guess.
Especially if you've never been to these parts of Earth, then it could be something totally new to you.
But it looks great. Like I could sit there and watch this scenery for, I don't say hours or anything, but I could watch it for a while. It was just really great stuff to watch. And even like when we see like towards the end, you see like the shoreline, and he finds that other lush green, very verdant forest. Like, even that when he meets the humans in the first
that
place.
oasis or whatever they find.
Yeah,
sort of
where the humans are eating all the bananas or whatever they're pulling out. I don't know what they were eating. Yeah. There was corn there, definitely corn. Yeah. But
because there was the crops, the apes crops.
But just seeing it, like, okay, there are these patches of green, like life and stuff, and that all look great. But yeah,
it definitely stood out after all of the desert stuff too.
Yeah, but so all those outdoor places were fantastic.
And so my good, it is pretty much the twist. I'm like I really like the Twilight Zone. I like Rod Serling, and I thought that the twist, even though I know what it is, I just like the way that they kind of implemented like little hints throughout the movie. All these things that kind of led up to the fact that this is Earth. And I definitely, watching in the 60s, you would not have known that. So I'm a fan of it. I did enjoy the twist, even though I totally knew everything that was going to happen because I've seen so many different media outlets that, spoofed this.
So then we get to the bad.
Or the bad, yeah.
Yeah. I can't get over all those very logical things that kind of prove that this is Earth. Yeah. Like, there's so many times where it's just like, come on, the guns, the horses, that's a lot of things that just happened.
Just some coincidences.
These aliens that are using English, they can communicate with you. And not only, like, speaking is one thing, but they're actually writing down in English as well. Like, you could be writing in Swahili or the Arabic, whatever. Like, there's so many different ways. But they're all doing this, like, come on. That's too many things that are coincidentally the same as they would be on Earth. Like, and some of that's for the audience, right? To make it easier to tell the story. But it's just too much to make you really buy into the idea.
And when you think about it, like English, it has evolved so much since its existence, basically. Would English really be the same in 2,000 years, too? Like, it would probably be... Like, even now, I was talking to someone in the 50s. We're going to be speaking a lot of different things. A lot of different, like, jive and turkey and all the different... Totally different... Like, we say, oh, that's cool, man. They would have no idea what that even means.
It's got the Riz.
Yeah. I'm just saying, there's 2,000 years of that, of evolving the language, probably not going to be the same.
Shibbity toilet.
But that's just science, that's science fiction logic. You can't really get past that. Otherwise, you wouldn't have a movie.
Was that your bad or just...
No, that was just me adding to yours. But mine is, maybe because it is of the time, the misogyny of the movie, it is definitely dated in that sense. Like, the fact that they just kind of cast Stewart aside and, like, they were just going to use her to populate, basically.
Well, then they put Nova into the cell.
And Nova.
Just we'll give him a mate, just because you put him in the cell with them.
But even he just drags her along. He treats her like he owns her, basically. That is something you would not see nowadays. And that's, like, if you watch even like James Bond movies from back then, that is kind of how James Bond treated the women too. It's of its time. It's definitely something that you would not see nowadays. And I'm not really a fan of the misogyny.
Yeah.
So let's go into the ugly. You can do the ugly. Your last.
Again, these aren't necessarily bad things. They're just kind of distracting. Which I think you could take this character out altogether and it wouldn't make a whole lot of difference. But the character of Nova, that bothered me so much. How she doesn't really do anything. Like, if you took her out of the film, would things change a whole lot?
Yeah.
Not really.
Mm-hmm.
but she plays her role fairly well, and I would love to have seen her have a bigger influence in the story because she's a good-looking actress. When she plays this, I don't know, less intelligent human type of person, like she does that well, but there's no growth to her character, no. A to B story plot.
Well, he's mimicking her at that point, so maybe she's learning things.
Yeah.
So she's learning.
I just wish that there was more there other than just the implication that he's got a woman to fuck the whole time.
That's what it was.
That's all it is.
Yeah, and that it kind of ties into my bad. So my ugly is basically just. I did like the makeup. It does still kind of hold up up till today's standards. But then there's times when it doesn't. Like I said, you can see the second set of teeth inside, or you can see like the lips of the human lips. Kind of like there was some moments where it didn't quite work, and even the movement of the mouth. Like if you watch the 2001 Tim Burton one, man, oh man, they nailed it. There ain't no better makeup than that. But now that we did that, we're gonna do some reviews. We don't do our reviews yet because we're gonna do some reviews that we found online. He likes to do the more professional reviewers, like the high end, the people that review this for a living. Whereas I like to do the reviews of just Joe Blow down the street. He can review it, I can review it. I like to read those ones. But we'll start with the more professional stuff.
Yeah. So I get my stuff from Metacritic. Just going into it, the overall critic score on the website Metacritic was 79 out of 100. 14 total reviews, so better than our previous movie this month. 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. They had 6, so this is more than double that. Yeah. But I did notice when I was going through those that some of them were clearly modern reviews. Like I did just the way that they're worded. And stuff. So I tried to get the ones that were more classic reviews to go with the movie. From Empire, a film rich with unforgettable imagery, killer lines, and physical thrills. A score of 100 out of 100.
Ooh, it's a perfect movie.
Which, unforgettable imagery. Like I already said, I'm a big fan of the scenery. Yeah. And then the lines. Like I said, I thought Heston had great line delivery. Maybe not the rest so much, but the physical thrills I disagree with. Like the fight scenes are very poorly done. But next up, I got The Hollywood Reporter. Planet of the Apes is that rare film that will transcend all age and social groupings.
Oh. All ages. I don't know about all ages, but okay.
Social groupings too. I mean, the one black guy in this. First of all, there's a crew of 4 with one black guy, and he's the first one dead. Yeah. Very minimal lines, and that's it.
And females aren't very looked upon very well.
These people were expected to come back into a time when humanity might not be the same as it was. They don't know if they are coming back. They didn't send any Asians or Middle Eastern people. Just a bunch of white guys and one black dude. Yeah. That was it. I don't know. Kind of looking bad on the other social groupings. Yeah. And then finally, Chicago Sun-Times. Planet of the Apes is much better than I expected it to be. It is quickly paced, completely entertaining, and its philosophical pretensions don't get in the way. If you only condescend to see an adventure thriller on rare occasions, condescend this time. You have nothing to lower but your brow. It's a score of 75 out of 100. And I'm just going to note that when I looked this up, the critic who gave that review from the Chicago Sun-Times, Roger Ebert.
It is Ebert, okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
So.
Okay, I was actually. It sounded more glowing of a review than the number would suggest.
He's kind of saying that these kind of, what does he call them? He calls them adventure thrillers. Like condescend to see them. They're lower class films. But if you're going to see them, see this one. That's how it sounds to me.
I guess. And the one that you said about the visuals and stuff too. There is a lot of visuals. Like you said, when they land, there's the desert and all that stuff. And then even when they're in the cornfield and they're getting chased and stuff, that's cool. Like the greenery, and even the huts that they're in and stuff. There's a lot of different visual stimulation, I'd say, in this movie.
I feel like the ship doesn't look too good in the beginning. There's some parts of that.
Oh yeah, or even when they're in space and you think these bright lights.
It's just lens flares basically. Yeah. And I read that was the ship stuff was the last stuff they filmed, is from what I read.
Okay. And then I'll go to some Letterboxd reviews. I do Letterboxd reviews. Check me out. I'm CountryBoy_9. This is just some random person I found online saying, watching this made me feel high without ever smoking anything. Truly an experience that every single person must experience. And I think they might have been high when they wrote this because they only gave it a half a star, even though they seem to have loved it. Yeah, so I don't know if you'd feel high watching it, but
they didn't make any sense. Like someone was high. Like it didn't make sense to him. So it was like I was high during this, which isn't a good experience.
He wasn't high.
I wanted to actually enjoy it. I don't know.
Felt like he was high, but he wasn't. That's crazy. This one, oh man, that ending. I knew what it was before going in, but I never knew the context. But when he falls off his horse and commends man for destroying the planet, and then, sorry, God, he says commends. He says commends here. But yeah, I'm sure he means condemns. The man for destroying the planet, and then the frame steady zooms away to reveal the destroyed Statue of Liberty. Then we cut to credits and just listen to the waves crashing on the beach. Man, chills, so good. And that's 3.5 stars this person gave it. I can see that. Yeah, I mean, if you didn't know the context and you knew of these things, I don't know how you didn't know the context.
I don't know how you could know that. Yeah, you know the ending and not the context. I mean, the context is pretty clear even from that. Yeah. That he thinks he thought he was on another planet. If you don't know it was apes, at least you know he thinks he's on another planet, and he's like, "Damn you blew it up." And it's like you should know that.
It's from a movie called Planet of the Apes, and there's a guy saying, "Oh, you blew it up." I think you kind of would gather it all together there. And then this last one I got here is the OG. What a brilliant movie in a revolutionary time of release. Rod Serling never disappoints when it comes to an ending. One of the finest sci-fi films to ever shine on the big screen. That's 5 stars this person gave it. Yeah, good for them. I agree. I love Rod Serling's ability to throw in those twists.
Yeah. So do we want to get into our own scores?
I think we should do some scores as well too. Here are our reviews now.
Yeah. So overall, I did enjoy the movie more than I expected to. Like a lot of people told me going in, like it's gonna be hard to watch. Like it's gonna be hard to watch that. Mm-hmm. And I sat down, like I said, that first 20 minutes when they were wandering around the planet, I was just like, oh my god, this is gonna be such a drag. Yeah. Like I knew there was gonna be apes at some point, but I was just like, this is gonna just drag on me so bad. But it actually picks up once he gets to the ape society or whatever. Mm-hmm. And it's a pretty fun ride at that point. Like I said, the big issues of the Heston, whether it's being a hammy or whatever, like he has good line deliveries, but I just majority of the time, I didn't really feel like he was acting too well. He always just felt like he's somehow above this, kind of like he was like a higher degree actor, and he's playing like hoity-toity compared to everyone else. Like when he's talking down to people and stuff, it just felt a little bit off to me.
Well, he's been Moses in the Commandments.
Never seen or Ben-Hur. I've never seen that either. But yeah, so scenery does a lot of the heavy lifting for my score. I like the concept is all right too. I mean, there's some flaws in it, but overall it was enjoyable. So I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10.
Oh, look at that! Like I said, I watched the movie 20 years ago. When I watched it back then, I didn't care for it. I was like, it would maybe be a 6 tops out of 10 back then. So I'm definitely glad that I came back to this movie because I appreciate it so much more for what it is, and the hamminess of Charlton Heston isn't as bad as I remember it being. It's still there, but it's not as bad as I remember it being. And I actually appreciated more of the costumes and the set scenery and all that stuff. I'm able to understand this is set at a different time, and you can't really get away from that. There's just limitations. So with that in mind, and the fact that I can see a lot of references in the more modern age of these movies, I can see them referencing a lot of these things. I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool they did that. I'm giving this about an 8.5. Yeah.
Do you remember your first time watching it? Like the things that really stuck out to you that made it, you said you probably would have given it a 6. Do you remember the things that really bothered you, that made you feel that way, to give it a lower score? Or, like, I just wonder what changed in your viewpoint now. Or
what I remembered mostly was Charlton Heston's acting. Okay. That was the biggest thing that bothered me about it back then. And then I thought the makeup was pretty bad back then. But then watching it now, it's not as bad as I remembered it being, and it is actually, for the time, it is actually good. Good. It is good makeup. It is good makeup for the time.
I just wonder, because I watched it on Disney Plus, or is it Disney Plus?
It's on Disney Plus.
Disney Plus.
Yeah.
I see yours is on DVD. I wonder, like I was kind of wondering, like the original, if you got on VHS or even early DVDs, if it would have been like a resolution thing, because like I said, it looked really good, and I was like, but what if that's just because they up-resed it for the version I'm watching on Disney Plus? Maybe that was your experience, but I mean, do you think it was
I don't think there's any difference.
No difference? Okay.
Yeah, I don't think there'd be any difference. I couldn't tell you. I didn't watch both back to back or anything like that. So
yeah, to me, the visuals are very crisp and clear, which I don't usually associate with like a 70s movie or a 60s movie. So I thought maybe that could have hindered your experience, but yeah.
Maybe. Back when I did watch it back then, I didn't watch it on DVD. It was on TV, and it might have been just a shitty channel. I don't know. Who knows? But that is our review of Planet of the Apes, the 1968 version of it. You should leave some comments down below, the like and all that stuff. Do all that stuff. But before we go, we should say where we can find ourselves, starting with this guy.
I am the LewisLightning. That's all one word, and you can type that into YouTube and find my channel there, where I have some older gameplay videos like X-Men Origins Wolverine the game, Captain America the first Avenger game, or even some indie stuff like Papo and Yo. You can find all that. There's tons of stuff. It's like 6 years old. And you can also find me playing newer stuff on my Twitch channel, The LewisLightning. Again, all one word.
And like I said, you can find me on Letterboxd, but I'm also a whole bunch of different places as CountryBoy_9, like on Twitter and on PlayStation and Instagram and all those different places. Also on YouTube, where I'm known as CountryBoy9er, where I unbox a bunch of stuff. Like this ape guy right here, General Thane. One awesome beast of a guy. He's a warrior ape. Totally reminds me of Planet of the Apes. He's a pretty cool guy.
Yeah.
But that's it. That's gonna be our second episode for this month, which was old school. I don't know if we even mentioned this is old school month. This is our second episode.
So they can also find us on.
Oh, and another channel that we're on.
Yes.
Yes. I don't want to forget our other channel. There's this other guy here that's not here. I forgot about because he's not here. We have another channel called Wasted Opinions, where we talk about movies, TV shows, video games, comic books, wrestling, food, music, whatever. We talk about it. And you can check out our next episode coming next month, where we're going to be talking...
The finale of... this is the finale.
This is the finale of this month.
Yeah.
But next month, we don't have a movie yet, but we got a theme, which is, I mean, it's December, so it's probably obvious.
Yeah.
Ho, ho, ho.
It's Christmas.
It's Christmas. We got to have some Christmas movies, so we're going to be talking some Christmas
movies. A lot
movies.
of fun, well, hopefully fun. I think I got one in mind, but it's going to be new to me.
Yeah. I think both movies that we're going to be doing are new to both of us, actually. Or at least one of them is new to you. I don't know if the other one's new to you.
Both of them. What we've discussed so far. We'll see. It's not set in stone yet.
Fresh eyes on these movies.
Yeah.
But that's going to do it. Yeah, that's going to do it, I guess.
Yeah.
Damn dirty apes.
So many Simpsons references.
Yeah. I'm going up. Got K-pop Demon Hunter music in my head.
I've heard people talking about that show. I don't know what it is.
Ira loves it. It's actually really catchy music, and it's a fun movie.